what you're going to be doing without level 42. And with level 42, what is it going to take? So you can see it's fairly significantly different here in terms of the total number of hours it's going to take to build that out. And that's what I try to show folks is this is about speed and getting to market.
Right. I'm very conscious. I'm a financial director. I'm very conscious that lots of people want to get information quickly. They're having to input a lot of data into spreadsheets. They're having to put it into their accounting systems. And I think there has to be a way that one can do an awful lot of the basic accounting automatically through QuickBooks or something like that. And I'm working on a project with somebody else using a major a UK horrific.
All right. Oh, horrific or terrific?
Both.
Go
Um,
ahead.
I think I haven't had any forewarning. I haven't given that much thought. However, you've got to start off with where businesses are at the outset. So you've got to build their foundations and understand where they want to get to, understand what the issues are, understand what their financial position is, then spec out a dream they have in terms of with product or service, analyze that against a marketplace, understand the marketing mix, i.e., price, product, promotion, and distribution, understand the strategic issues, as in barriers to entry or competitive analysis, all that good stuff, work out manpower, work out margins, work out cash flows, a whole variety of things. You've got to put that all into, bring that all together in one arena. Difficult, but one thing does follow on from the other. It starts at the top with product demand and market analysis, etc. A whole variety of things, not necessarily in that order, but that will then give you a rough outline which you can refine down a bit like carving, making a carving out of stone. You start off with something fairly rough and ready, and you refine it as you go. That's what I think one can do.
Very good. Well, I think you've given level 42 some interesting things to think about. And now we're looking at that took about a minute and a half to go through that discussion. And so those are the words you use, Nigel. So let's see what it says. The art of building a strategic business foundation, and it's showing us the foundation of the current state, understand the issues, exactly what you said. So it picked up exactly what we were looking for. And so now are the various things that we need to do as we build this out. So it's actually creating the steps for us, and it's got some questions for us. So there's different modules that we can use, but the beauty of level 42 is you don't have to worry about which module it's using. It's smart enough to know which one of the 60 or so modules it needs to use and when it needs to use it, because all of these modules are done in parallel. They're not done in serial. And we've talked about that before about the accuracy you get when you're running, or we will just uh, continue on and I'll make one up, which I don't want to do. So who's going to be the guinea pig today? Are we going to make any ideas? Nigel, what are the companies that what were they doing? And any manufacturing product company that you have, and we can make a company up, and we can talk about some interesting fictitious products that they may have if you'd like to do that.
Um, don't really want to talk about the one where I'm specifically operating with because,
Pretty
yeah,
close.
that's good. Yep.
All right. So that took us about 45 seconds to go through and begin to say, okay, we have an economic opportunity with environmental disruption. Um, let's see. I just learned this from my daughter. TL semicolon DR. TL means too long. I'm going to want to generate about $20 million of revenue my first year. and I need a sales playbook and tell me how many sales reps I need. Tell me what their quotas should be. Tell me how I should break up the territory, if it should be territory based or if it should be account based. Tell me which approach that is going to give me the best results, and give me a job description of the type of sales rep that I should be hiring for this.
Where I find this to be very useful is actually highlight the things you've got to think through in terms of items of capex, items of marketing, etc. And you could use that as a way of just testing against your own assumptions. I wouldn't actually take these figures. I'd take them with a pinch of sort of curiosity in them, a pinch of salt. Um, but it's a structure, yes.
Agreed. Yeah. And if you can, how long do you think it might take you to do that?
Oh, I don't know, months probably
Forever.
to
Yeah.
get all of the stuff gathered. I think the real magic here is not only the presentation of the structure and the opportunity to go into.
Of course, they'd build out their templates, but then every template had to be quickly modified, had to be modified, and that wasn't necessarily a quick thing to do for whatever business we were looking at. This shortcuts a lot of that. And one thought on the Excel thing that you were trying to do earlier, one of the things I've had better success with than creating Excel files is getting it in a CSV file,
Yeah.
comma separate, and asking it to use Excel formulas as part of that so that it can be transferred to Excel. And I've had much better success with that than I have with it trying to generate the Excel, because then it tries to write a Python script to generate the Excel file, and that usually conks out and causes problems.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's great to know. I have not tried that. So I
But
learned
yeah,
some.
as a template, I really see a lot of power and value in this, and just helping people rapidly work through those things and find the areas they need to focus in. That would
Okay.
shortcut months off most acquisitions, in my opinion.
Very good. Looked at going forward, which is speed, speed, speed. And so here it comes back, and there's the traditional way. You're going to be looking at doing different things. And if you're really good and you know what you're doing and you're a great market researcher, you can do this fairly quickly. If it's something that you are new to, it might take you a little longer to go and do this. So total for that section is 300 hours, a couple of months. So here's it's breaking down into the budgets. So I want to get down and figure out what is the total with and without. So here's the team composition without level 42. Is if you take somebody, and Cervantes, you probably have worked with people that are very smart, that know how to prompt, but they don't have the domain knowledge. So we had some really smart people here, and Nigel and team, they've got the domain knowledge on how to pull this together. If you took a 24-year-old kid 2 years out of college and said, "Go build this," they don't have the domain knowledge to do that, especially to jump back and forth between the market, the chemicals, the finances, the sales plans, those kinds of things. So the domain knowledge is going to be critical. And so if you're bringing people into the organization, I would say let them understand the domain knowledge, or let them work in conjunction with your folks that have deep domain knowledge so they can learn from each other. So